Hi, welcome to Sustainably Balanced Equine. I'm Bree, and it's been a really long time since I posted anything. And it honestly for good reason. There's a lot of mud. I don't know if you can tell. Like it's kind of hard to see. It looks like not super terrible, but it's been deep boot sucking mud out here, and we've also been underwater for the past like 2.5 weeks. It was pretty dry up until January. And then all of a sudden we got a bunch of rain and snow, and then it just sits and doesn't have anywhere to go at this property. So I've kind of just been chilling. I've been doing a lot of stuff inside. I've been taking a lot of me time, but now that it's warmer out, the sun is starting to feel a little bit better. Daylight savings started, so it's time to get some projects done outside. So today what my focus is going to be is kind of like sorting out a new little dry lot area to keep my horses off of the grass. One, so I can let the grass grow out, and after it's taken a beating all winter, like I don't know if it's gonna even grow at this point. But also like give my horses a little bit more space to kind of get around each other when they're in the dry lot. Hopefully it's only short term. I'll probably be getting a muzzle for my Mustang at some point so we can avoid some of the inflammation issues that she gets from the grass. Oh my gosh, she's trying not to make you guys motion sick, but she is taking a nap. I don't know if you can see her. Oh, there we go. That is the cutest thing. It makes me so happy that they feel safe enough to sleep here. So yeah, I think that's all for my little spiel, and let's get into the work. Granny's turn. Oh, big rolls. Editing Brie here. So I got really worried about her when I saw she didn't finish rolling. So I went over and she hopped right up, but when she shook, she didn't actually shake her body all the way out. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on her. Hopefully she'll be fine and she's not colicking. So after I checked on her, I went back over and started just shifting these step-in posts around just to give a little bit more room between where the panel is and where the fence is. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have a new little friend here. He showed up in January at some time and was just hanging out in the ditch or behind this fence line basically. And he was just meowing and meowing and meowing. So I went down there and I was just like, hey, what's up? And then he never left. It got really cold like right after we found him, so I kind of set him up a little warm spot in our shed and I fed him because he seemed really hungry. And yeah, that was that. He's been my little barn chore buddy ever since. So this entire video he was being very, very helpful, as you can see. I think it's the cutest thing. He just wants to be like loved, I think is his biggest thing. He loves to get up on my shoulders and help me out. I think it's because he's a lot slower than I am. I don't know, I haven't been able to figure it out, but he cracks me up. I don't know how old he is, but he's quite small. So we've been calling him Munchkin because I don't think he's gonna get very big. Like the good news is he blends in with the ground. Um, like sometimes I have a hard time even seeing him out there, which is good because I saw a hawk fly out of the trees the other day and I was like, No, Munchie, you need to stay away from those big birds. Like, make sure you hide if you hear or see a bird because I don't know what I would do if I lost him. But we don't have enough space in the house for another cat. Like, it's already crammed enough as it is with two inside cats and two inside dogs. So I figured the most I can do for him is just let him live in the barn and hope that he learns to stay out of trouble. I feel really bad. Like, that outside cat problem is a huge thing, especially where I'm located. And I simply cannot take in every single animal that I meet. Our second cat actually showed up that way last summer. So, yeah. Anyway, I was having the biggest dilemma on where to put these posts. As you can see, like my brain was like short circuiting for a second until I figured it out. So, I ended up making it a lot bigger because if you'll remember from when we originally moved everything around, there's an old driveway with a bunch of stones that kind of makes it difficult for placement of these step in posts because sometimes you can't drive them into the ground. So I found a solution that I like and hopefully the horses like. If I have to, I'll make it bigger or smaller or whatever I need to do. This one post was pretty bent up, out of shape, but I literally didn't have any left after the little fiasco with my arena going sour. So, I mean, I just need to use what I have. Like, I can go get more step in posts eventually, but for the time being, because it is starting to grow really quickly, the grass, I just want to make sure that my horses are taken care of. The next thing I realized was I had to move the water, and I thought I was gonna have to drag it all the way around, but then I had a huge big brain idea to just take off that bottom wire or whatever it is, electro braid rope, and pull it through there. So it was super helpful. Like, I'm really glad I had that idea instead of trying to like drag it around. And then I pulled out the hose, and somehow I had made the mistake of accidentally leaving water in it, so it didn't run. And I had to go back and like try and like eke all of the ice out of it, which some of it did come out when I turned the hose on, but I just had to let it sit in the sun for a little bit. Luckily, it was warm enough today to do that. Sometimes it's not, which is why I moved the water in the first place. I ended up actually dumping the water, and then I ran out of like hose to use with the other hose because this one was frozen over. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. So I'm super glad the hose reached. I'm super glad I was able to figure out the water situation. And by the time that happened, the girls came over and they were super excited to see their new little area. I also recently had someone remind me that I didn't do an introduction video of myself and all of my horses. So I'll definitely be doing that. I'm not new to social media, but I am newer to YouTube. So I need to not assume that my audiences are the same and that you guys like automatically know who I am. So I'll definitely be doing that in the next few weeks. I think it'll be really fun. I need to actually go back and look at some dates to actually remember how long I've had my girls for because it's been longer than I think. Like every time I'm like, oh yeah, I've had them for this many years. I'm like, no wait, like it's actually a lot longer than that. But it feels so short. So anyway, I don't know about you guys, but I have such a hard time like doing other stuff when the water is running. Like it was taking a little bit longer because there was still ice in the hose, but sometimes I'm just like walking back and forth and checking the water and booping Ollie's nose just because he's so cute. But I either like check it way too often or not enough and then it overflows. And I really don't want this spot to be muddy because it's super low. So just catch me out here standing here like a sim. waiting for the water to fill. And then Ollie, who's been in total mud monster this winter, was wanting some face scratches. He kind of alternates between like really wanting scratches and then being super overstimulated. So we kind of like go back and forth and take breaks. But it's good to spend a little bit of time with him because I haven't been doing much with the horses at all this winter. So hopefully the ground will be nice and dry soon and we'll get to start doing some more stuff together. And that's all I have for you today. I think this will be really good once they clean up that grass right there. They seem super happy with it so far. Anyway, thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time.